All right, guys. What's going on? What is going on? Let's get this thing started, shall we? Let's get this thing started. Let me get this thing queued up here for us. We got some stuff we got to talk about. Why? Because we got our halftime reaction. Let me make sure we're live. Let me make sure we are live. Are we live? Hello? Mic check. Mic check. Sounds like we're live. Sounds like we're live. I might be wrong. Here, let me go. Hello? We live? Hello? We live? Here, let me hit this in 3, 2. Here we go. 1. Whoop. Boom. I think we're live, guys. Are we live? Hello? Whoop, 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 whoop. I think we're live. All right. What's going on, people? Let's get into it, shall we? We got to talk about the first half and our initial reactions and thoughts to what I saw out of today. I'm super impressed with the fact that UConn's been able to hold on as long as they have, considering nobody gave them a shot. Nobody gave them a chance in this one. I feel like that was kind of the talking points coming into it. But something that I noticed in just kind of this first half alone, missed threes. Michigan's been struggling with the three ball. They haven't been able to make anything. It's kind of been tough sledding for them in that regard. But I think they'll get it going. And the interview just happened with Lindbergh, and Lindbergh talked with Tracy because she was like, "How you feeling? What's going on? What's been bugging you?" And he talked about like how he feels weak. And I think, anybody who can muscle and play through an injury, I'm going to give him a lot of credit. Like, I'm never going to talk smack about a player that plays through injury, because I think, you got to be tough as nails to play through an injury. So I will give him huge credit on that. But again, kind of like how I was talking a little bit, kind of in my kind of pre-game reaction, if I just think with how Michigan played in yesterday's game, where at one point, if you saw the score and you looked at the scoreboard, they're up by 30. Like that game was close. Maybe around kind of like the middle third of the first half. But like, we know how that game started. At one point, it was 12-3. Michigan started. They hit 10 points first. It was 10-1. There was a 30-point lead in the second half, and when Arizona started scoring, it was too little, too late. And Arizona did creep back into the game after Lindbergh went out, but I think with just how big the lead was, and you had other players like Mara stepping up, McKinney stepping up, that is what helped Michigan. Like, the lead seemed so unsurmountable and large that is what kept them at a safe distance with Arizona. But UConn's a whole different team. UConn is a whole different team. So I think Michigan wants to stay in this. Lindbergh's got to start showing up. Something that's been a big thing that I think we got to talk about too. Look at the three ball, and this one, I'm not gonna overreact to it too much. And the reason why I'm not gonna overreact to it is because of how the Duke UConn game went in the region final. But the other thing too, if Michigan wants to win this one, they got to start making threes. Cadeau made some threes in yesterday's Final Four game. Lindbergh, when he came back, he made back-to-back threes real quick. He made easy work of that. The other thing too, and I'm kind of, there was a huge dunk there at the very end of the first half. I'm starting to feel, because with how the scoring started for Michigan in the first half, it was between Johnson Jr. and Cadeau. They had the team's first 11 and 12-ish points. And then in the, towards the end of the first half, the one who kind of soared, like, let's go to the full box score. We'll see. Let's go look at Gale here, because Gale had a lot of points. Well, not a lot of points, but, look at that. 4 points off the bench. benches are pretty even. Look at how both benches have 5 points. Nothing too crazy. Nothing too, hey, look at that, you know. What's the score? 33-29. My bad. Sorry. 33-29. That's what the score is. 33-29. Yeah, if you guys are tuning in, it's 33-29. Sorry, I got it cropped a little bit. I got to show you guys a little bit of the cool graphic I made a little bit too. That's another reason why I didn't have a pregame show, is I had to make that little graphic up at the top. But yeah, guys, in the polls, let me know who you guys have winning out of UConn and Michigan. I'm kind of polling. I'm pulling for a good game. Let's be real, but I'd be happy to see either team win. Like, there's parts of me where, fun fact, I am 0 for 2 on my predictions in national championships. When I pick against Michigan in big games, because I think when Michigan played TCU, I picked Michigan, obviously, and then when Michigan played Washington, stupid enough, I picked Washington over Michigan, and so my track record is not that good. So if Michigan goes on to win, and I kind of am leaning towards UConn, I will go 0-2 against Michigan in national championship predictions. But right now it's 33-29 though. But with the dog in the fight, I just, like, there's parts of me that want to see Michigan win, because Michigan is a very complete team. In my own personal opinion, I think Lindbergh, you look at Boozer, you look at AJ DeBonsa from BYU. I think 1, 2, 3 guys. I would throw Gale or Cheddar. You know how there's like those 6th man, 7th man rotation players where it's like, oh yeah, I remember when, that's where these. But you just look talent-wise, Michigan's team is so much more stacked. They've been talked about a lot more in the tournament and leading up to the tournament. I kind of have a feeling, if I'm going to compare Michigan's team, I'd compare them to last year's Auburn team. Not like based on like talent and record and all that, but just kind of like the talk of the town, because it was Florida, Duke, and Auburn. Nobody was talking about Houston, and then Houston upset Duke with Duke's meltdown. But anyways, I lost my train of thought. I thought I had a thought there going, but you look at the NBA starters potentially that Michigan has versus UConn, where truth is, maybe Reed Jr., maybe Caravan. I don't know. Like, we've seen a lot of great college basketball players where it doesn't transition that well at the NBA level. But I think the other stat it's not too glaring, but something to talk about and look at is the UConn 6-0 record. And that's kind of why I was also kind of pulling a little bit for UConn in this game, because UConn has been there and they've been the underdog in some of these games and won. Turn back to 2014 when you saw how stacked NBA loaded roster, Kentucky had, and UConn did not care. They won it all. So I don't know. We will see though. Probably about 5 more minutes before the second half starts. But let's see if there's any other stats to talk about. Yes, let's go into the 3-ball. I think if Michigan wants to sustain the lead that they have, they need to start making some threes, because their 3-point percentage is, I'm not saying that UConn's is much better. I think what has kept UConn in this game is their 3-ball, because seeing how this equates, let's go to points in the paint. Oh yeah, look at how much Michigan's just bullied UConn on the glass. Again, bully ball. You go check my Arizona stream. I talked about it a little bit, where Michigan just bullied the hell out of Arizona, and they were playing bully ball and the physicality. I don't think Arizona was ready for it. They just weren't. But yeah, you know, 15. You got 15 points here from the 5 threes. You take 15, 29. That's 14. 14 to 22, like that. Well, 14, 30. But you see what I'm trying to say here, where if UConn's going to win this game, they're going to have to keep making threes, because if this turns into a mid-range and a layup contest, Michigan's just going to stay outpacing them, because they're. Let's look at rebounds too. There hasn't been any standout. Okay, it's just by one. It's by one, but then again, the points in the paint. Nobody's been able to stop Mara so far. Look at this one. This stat's pretty good. 3 and 5. Those are the largest leads. Again, I don't think any lead is going to get to, oh my gosh, they're up by 30. No, that'd be ridiculous. Surprisingly, no, only 2 steals. Not very many assists. Kind of a lot of ISOs, blocks. You know, that number could get bigger and have a bigger impact. Shooting-wise, 33%, 33%, 37%. So, like, average shooting. You know, nothing too, whoa, look at that. You know, just kind of a good, all-around, well-rounded basketball game going on right now. All right, people. Let's. Is there anything else to talk about? Let's go check the polls. We're sitting at 100% for Michigan with the 2 votes. Sick. That looks nice. Yeah, guys, be sure to let me know your thoughts in the polls. Here we go. What else? Let's talk about fouls. That could be another big thing. I don't know how much foul trouble does it do. PF. Personal fouls. Here we go. Look at that. 2, 2, 2. We got three of UConn starters with 2 fouls. Now, I don't think it starts to get dangerous till, isn't it 5? 5 fouls. How many? Fifth, yeah. Player is disqualified or fouls out upon committing their 5th personal. So 2 is not bad. 2 is not bad. I don't think any player should be sitting if they are being, you know, if they are benched. Lindbergh again with the 2 fouls. Cadeau with 2. I don't know if they called a foul on him when he had that tough drive and was like mean mugging him, like, yeah. I don't think they would have called a foul on him for that. Which, if they did, that's absolutely ridiculous, because it's like, what are we doing here? Because it's, you know, it's just a part of the game. But all right. Let me check the chat one more time. Chat, we got anything else? I don't think we do. So, all right, guys, we are gonna go back. I think that'll be it. We are going to wrap up the halftime report. Be sure to stay tuned. We'll do a post-game reaction. We will definitely do a shorts for the post-game reaction. But